This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Don't shake your body.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
You could have an amazing life here.
Now, first off, that's a clip from Wayward Pines, which is premiering May 14th. Well,
yeah.
May 14th. Wow,
yeah.
wow.
In 125 countries on the same day. It's the first time they've ever done that.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's incredible.
Right?
And it's starring Terrence Howard is one of the stars, right? Matt Dillon, another star, and this lovely woman who is sitting next to us right now, Heather B. You want to do the? I normally do the honors, but I'm smitten by her smile.
Not only her smile, her dress is absolutely incredible. You walked in and everybody was just like, wow, 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 wow.
Thanks, guys.
I don't want to screw up the pronunciation of your last name.
Well, I'll take it from here then. All right, welcome to the show. The one and only Carla Gugino is here.
Did he say it right? We were.
You did. Right? That was amazing.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. That was perfect.
Yes, that's what ladies say to me.
Oh gosh. I was gonna say I had it wrong, Carla.
Here we started strong, guys. Here we go. It's good. Here we go. I like it. Where do we go from here?
We go. Well, first of all, we appreciate your. We had Jeremy up here from Entourage.
Yeah, Jeremy Piven. Yeah,
Piven, and he was talking about the movie and the cast, all the returning cast. You're in the movie, right?
I am not in the movie.
You're not in the movie?
No, but you know what I have to say? I love every single person involved. Jeremy and I actually met doing a movie called Miami Rhapsody with Sarah Jessica Parker years ago in Miami. And then obviously we did Entourage together. But I will say I am not in the movie, but I think the movie is going to kill. I think it's going to be so good. I love everyone involved. And so I feel like I'm happy to be out campaigning for that movie, even though I'm not in it too, because they're like my family.
Well, that's cool because you don't have to do that. Why weren't you? Were you too busy, or they just didn't write you in the script?
We're gonna have to talk to Doug Ellen, the creator, about number 2, the movie, the second one for sure. Okay. No, we talked about it a lot. You know, the truth is, I was shooting San Andreas, the film I did with Dwayne Johnson in Australia when they were shooting this. When they were shooting the movie of Entourage. So that aspect of it was really hard. And also there are so many characters to be in that movie that he just couldn't figure out how to get this character in a way that felt deserving of it. He was like, I don't want her to just like show up at a party or something. Like, we want to do it right if we do it. So, and we both agreed on that. But that being said, I would absolutely love to do, you know, I love that Amanda Daniels, that character. She was so much fun to play, so.
Professionalism right here, where some folks would take the low roll and be like, I don't understand why they didn't write me in. I'm pissed. You're doing the high road. I appreciate that. That's what professionalism is all about.
It is.
She sees the forest beyond the trees.
It's a long life, this one.
It's a long life, right? Well, DB watched Wayward Pines' first 3 episodes already because he has an inside connection.
So you watched the first 3?
First 3, and I have to say I'm hooked already. I'm more of a movie guy, so I wanted to ask you about San Andreas. We'll get to that in a minute. But this one, I'm actually like really interested because M. Night Shyamalan is the director of the first episode that's premiering. So I already knew there was going to be some kind of a catch or something like you know behind the scenes with him doing Sixth Sense and all those kind of movies. So. I'm still a little confused. Like, is this like a government operation secret thing, or is this like a dream? Like, because I'm confused with the dates. Like that whole thing.
I know.
Well, that's so insider. What's the plot?
well, Matt Dillon is a Secret Service agent.
Okay.
And he gets sent to look for 2 agents who have disappeared. So basically,
and by the way, one of those agents is me, and we were partners, but we were also lovers. Yeah. Which complicated things, as it does. And I moved away and went to a new town with another agent, and we go into this town to investigate it, and we disappear, and he's given the case.
And so Matt Dillon and his partner actually get into a car accident, and then he wakes up in this town, and he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Nobody will tell him anything. All the answers are kind of shady. So then the people he talks to, they all think it's like 1999, I believe, but it's actually 2014. So I'm just wondering, like, can you give us a little bit of insight about what's really going on?
I'm totally sworn to secrecy, but what I will say is that, so basically in that first one, when he comes, he keeps looking for this woman, Kate Hewson, who's the character that I play. And when they were together 5 weeks ago in a motel room, She was 27. She fell in love with her older partner, you know, super hot and whatever, and then decided this is a bad idea. So now he's come to look for her, and he keeps asking, has anyone seen Kate Houston? It's this small town. They're like, no. I mean, there's a Kate Ballinger, but, and he comes to find her, and she insists she's been living with this man, married for 12 years in this town, and she does look 12 years older.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was with you 5 weeks ago. How could this be possible? So I'm not going to answer it for you. It's super mysterious. But what I will say is that in episode 5, which is cool because it's a 10-episode piece.
Yeah. In
episode 5, you will know what's going on. You will get your answers, and then you will be able to live with the characters while we're trying to figure out what to do. So what I kind of love about that is it's not like you're in the dark for the whole time, and then by the end of episode 10, we're like, here's the answer.
Yeah.
You actually have the answer, and then you're dealing with it. It's really cool. It's really inventive, and it is kind of old school in the sense that, you know, you do have to wait week per week, and it's very good for suspense that way. Like, it brings back the old school water cooler moments, you know?
Yeah, you by the way, just sold the shit out of this series. I'm like, damn, I can't wait to watch it. So much so that I even got the first 3 episodes right here too. So, you know.
Very happy about that.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Was it, when you watched it, were you intrigued?
Well, yeah, because he eventually kind of like realizes, okay, I need to figure out what to do because I can't leave. That's another thing. And so he tries to befriend some people, like Juliette Lewis, who plays Beverly.
Yep.
She tries to help him, and the town really keeps you from leaving. So there's a lot going on with this story, and then like people that are trying to find him. So I mean, it's really, really intense.
Juliette is so good in this too. We really had an amazing cast. I mean, Terrence Howard as our sheriff is so fantastic.
Him and the ice cream.
Totally. But you know, it's also with this, I think, what's so you really do not know what is going on. And you were saying you're a big fan of film, and I for sure am as well. And this was Night Shyamalan's first venture into television. So it's really cinematic. Like what's cool is it is like one long movie, even just in the way that it plays out visually, and yet we got longer to tell the story. And you will find out, I mean, my character, there's a lot going on underneath. Like there's a lot, what you think might be happening isn't even close to what's happening.
Carla, you selling this shit out of this. Right?
Yeah, like, Carla sent the right one, Sway.
Man. May 14th, Fox, Wayward Pines. Carla Gugino is here with us.
Nice.
Yeah, you said it right. All right.
You know, and you want to talk with her, 888-742-3345. Hold up. We're going to play a song by a friend of yours who's on tour. She went on tour with Nas?
She went on tour with Nas, yeah.
Abby
Cornish. That's awesome.
Where's she from?
She's from Australia.
She's from, and she raps.
And she beatboxes and she raps, and she's gorgeous blonde Aussie, so it's not what you expect.
Shit, a gorgeous blonde Aussie?
Rapping. I mean, it's not.
Okay.
They don't really...
that she's from Australia. That she's gorgeous.
No, that for sure. No, there's a lot of that.
Okay. We're gonna play it now. Abby Cornish, aka MC Dusk, and it's called Way Back Home. Sway in the morning. Sway in the morning. Stage 45. Brand new, out of Australia. I like the feel of that.
That sounds good.
Right?
Yeah. Cool, right?
Carla Gugino is here, and that's her friend Abby Cornish out of Australia. You're a bit. You seem like, where are you from? You from California?
I'm originally from Florida,
Florida?
Florida. And then and then mostly I lived all over California when I was growing up, northern, southern.
What part of northern?
I lived in a teepee in Paradise, California with my mom when I was a little kid. Like a real old school teepee, guys. Yeah.
Well, y'all broke?
you know what's funny? I think she was more a hippie than anything else.
Than anything else? Okay.
I had a really bad kidney operation, and we weren't sure what was wrong, and they fixed it. And she took me there to recover with these amazing gold miners, and I mean like people literally digging for gold. I also lived in Big Sur. I lived in Sausalito. Lived in La Jolla, San Diego.
I'm from Oakland, so
nice.
Oakland's
a great city. Exactly. It's the Northern California. Well, I mean, San Andreas is gonna totally freak you out then, because we shot a lot of it in Australia, but we also shot a week in San Francisco, and it takes place all along the San Andreas Fault, of course. And it is completely terrifying, edge of your seat. Insane. The movie's amazing, but definitely for any of us who are California people, it's like you're just so glad to go in and get the shit scared out of you.
Yeah.
And then be able to walk out and still have solid ground underneath you.
See, I growing up in California, people fear earthquakes if you're not from California.
Yeah,
it's like
it's true.
biggest natural disaster that ever hit mankind to folks on the East Coast. But I've been through so many earthquakes, huge ones as well. But it's always been that lurking feeling that California is going to be separated from the rest of the country at some point with this gigantic earthquake. And that's what this movie is kind of about, right?
It is. And it's definitely about this family who's really kind of this broken family because they've had a big tragedy in the family that they weren't able to get through. And so they're separated, Dwayne and my character. This thing really, we go up to try to get our daughter. We're in LA and the earthquake hits. She's in San Francisco and we end up really coming together because of it. Mm-hmm. But what's so cool about it is it's not cliche or it's not sentimental or obvious in any way. It's like, as we know, I mean, I was here during 9/11. It's like those kind of crises when they happen, all of a sudden you realize there's like no room for anything but the truth.
Yeah.
Like you got to just like cut to the chase, you know, and be with the people that you love and love the people that you love. And, you know, so it's a really cool movie because it's total edge of your seat, but you also actually people I think will cry.
Will cry. I'll be scared. You work with Dwayne Johnson, who, you know, I've bumped into him a few times over the years. He always says hi. Really nice guy. But, you know, even for a guy, he's kind of hard to look at because, see, when women look at him, what do you see, Heather, when you look at The Rock? You know? Meat. Okay. You know, what about you, Carla? When you look at him, what did you see? What did you?
Well, you know, I mean, he's such a good friend at this point. That's like I see like my soul brother.
Okay.
But
before he was a good friend.
But I will say, like, what's funny is we shot this other movie together called Race to Witch Mountain years ago, and we were in Vegas shooting, and this woman came up and, you know, she was like, can I take and of course we were like, thought she was going to say, could I take a picture of you? And she was like, could I take a picture with your arm? And she didn't even want his face. She just wanted his arm. And it is true that when I see him, I'm like, his arm, I think, is the size of my waist. Like, I think literally, like, wow. So, you know, he's a big dude with like such a great heart and one of the best senses of humor of anybody I know.
Yeah. Yeah, he reminds me of the workout I need to start when I look at him. Like I get pissed every time I see him.
Well, you got to either go with like being inspired by him or being totally intimidated. Because when we were shooting in on the workout front, because when we were shooting in Australia, I did more stunts than I've ever done in that movie and some crazy stuff. And so anyway, but he wakes up at, you know, like 3:15, 4:15, whatever time in the morning he has to work out. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I guess I got to do it too. Because if he can do it, I can do it. And then I became like a, you know, crack of dawn workout fiend. It only lasted for the movie.
Just for the movie, right? Because he makes you feel guilty.
He does.
Right?
Yes.
Like, he doesn't say nothing, I'm sure.
No, he's very supportive. Yeah. Very supportive, but inside.
Yeah, he doesn't even know me and he makes me feel guilty. Like, I feel like I let him down every time I eat bread.
You let The Rock down.
All right. Well, Carla, thank you for coming by the show.
So great to be with you guys.
And I know you got another project, The Brink.
Which comes out in June. It's on HBO. It's a black comedy set in the political world, basically about the people responsible or possibly irresponsible for us being on the brink of World War III. Okay. It's funny. It's crazy. It's Jay Roach and these guys, Roberto Benavides and Kim Benavides, created it. It's Asif Mandvi, who's awesome. Pablo Schreiber, Jack Black, Tim Robbins. Really great group.
That's a great group of actors. I'm back on the TP. I'm sorry. As you were talking, I was imagining.
You went back to that?
To a TP. Plus, I'm from California, and I know how it is in Northern California with all the forestry and stuff. Did they experiment with like mushrooms and things like that? Right?
I don't think I can talk about that.
You can't talk about that
on the air.
Oh, okay, all right, but. You know what I mean? Like
I make no presumptions. I was a child.
She was a child, but
I don't know about these things.
The village.
We're lost. Yeah, the people, the East Coasters are lost. So they have
hippie. You know, it's a lot of hallucinogenics and mushrooms and weed.
I think weed probably more than anything.
Weed more than anything. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Cool. But you don't do that.
No.
Okay. Never. Great. All right, Carla.
I just inhaled once.
Just one time.
Okay.
You can still be president.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.